but actually there are two processes which is happening together, dissolution as well as crystallization. Here the reactants react to give products and the products again can react to give back the reactants. So equilibrium is broadly classified into two types. The equilibrium in which the rate of melting of a solid is equal to rate of freezing. Hello my dear students, I am Priyanka Rajaram from Vidyashram PU College, Temple of Excellence. Today I shall start with the new chapter, equilibrium. If we observe around us, there are so many systems in which there are two opposing tendencies which is happening simultaneously to the same extent, and such system is said to be in equilibrium. For example, if we take the spherical shape of any gaseous planet, that is, the shape is spherical is because there are two opposing tendencies. One is thermal expansion and gravitation contraction. Both these forces are happening simultaneously to the same extent so that the shape is spherical. Similarly, I can give an example of many systems. For example, if you take a saturated solution of sugar, okay, you have some amount of sugar crystals just there left behind, which is not dissolving in a particular quantity of water, okay. So what is happening there? The dissolution and the crystallization, both the processes are happening simultaneously to the same extent, and it looks like there is no dissolution which is happening at all, or there is nothing happening at all. It looks like that, but actually there are two processes which is happening together, dissolution as well as crystallization. So system in which there are two opposing forces or two opposing tendencies which is happening simultaneously to the same extent, then we call that system is in equilibrium. So we'll go into the details of equilibrium. Before I start into the details, we have to know there are two types of reaction. So which are the types of reaction? One is reversible reaction, the other is irreversible reaction. So in reversible reaction, here the reactants react to give products and the products again can react to give back the reactants. So when I tell the reactants are giving products, it's a forward reaction. And when the products are reacting again to give back the reactants, I call it as backward reaction. Okay. So I have forward reaction as well as backward reaction happening to the same extent, then the system we call it as equilibrium. Okay. So this is type of reaction, reversible reaction. The other type of reaction is irreversible reaction, in which you cannot reverse. Once the reactants react, it will form products. A plus B are reactants, C and D are products. A plus B react to give C plus D. That is over. It is finished. It may happen in certain conditions or it may require catalyst, etc., etc., etc. But then it happens, or only forward reaction is there is no backward reaction is not possible. Such reactions we call it as irreversible reaction. Okay. Further, we learn about the types of equilibrium. So equilibrium is broadly classified into two types, that is physical equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. In physical equilibrium, the physical state is in equilibrium, okay, or there are physical changes which is happening in the system, then we call it as physical equilibrium. For example, ice and water. Okay, if I take ice at 0 degrees Celsius in a closed container, the ice will melt and also freezing. Both are at equilibrium. Okay, there it is melting of ice and freezing of ice. What is at equilibrium? Okay, so it's a physical change which is happening. Similarly, chemical equilibrium is where there is equilibrium during a chemical reaction. Further, it can be classified as molecular equilibrium and ionic equilibrium. In molecular equilibrium, there are molecules which are there, and in ionic equilibrium, you can see the ions are there in the reactant or in the product side. Okay, so you see the molecular equilibrium, example PCl5. PCl5 decomposes to give PCl3 and Cl2. Again, PCl3 and Cl2 will react with one another to give PCl5 as well. And here you can see it is all molecules which is there. It's not an ionic reaction. Whereas if you see here, CH3COH, that is the acetic acid, is a weak acid which will dissociate to give H plus ion and acetate ion, that is CH3CO minus ion. Again, these two can react to give back the molecule. So here you can find ions, isn't it? So we call it as ionic equilibrium. For us, we have to learn about physical equilibrium as well as the ionic equilibrium in detail. So we'll understand the first type, that is physical equilibria or physical equilibrium. So what is physical equilibrium? The equilibrium in which the two opposing processes, what is it? Two opposing processes which is happening simultaneously to the same extent are physical changes. What is it? They are physical changes which is happening. Okay, then we call it as physical equilibrium. For example, water and water vapor are in equilibrium in a closed container. Water liquid state, water vapor is in the gaseous state. So the number of water molecules which is going to the vapor state is equal to the number of water molecules which is coming back to the liquid state. So here the physical state, liquid to gas, gas to liquid, there is a physical change which is happening. Thus it is physical equilibrium. Okay. Further, there are different types of physical equilibrium. You can see here there are solid liquid equilibrium, liquid vapor equilibrium, solid vapor equilibrium. Then you have solid solution equilibrium and gas solution equilibrium. Here these two, if you see, solid solution and gas solution, this is when solid is dissolved in a solvent to form a solution, or when gas is dissolved in a solvent to form a solution. Okay, so we have total of 5 types. So we learn each one of them with one example. Okay, so the first one is solid liquid equilibrium. The equilibrium in which the rate of melting of a solid is equal to rate of freezing of a liquid is called as solid liquid equilibrium. So what is it? Rate of melting of solid is equal to rate of freezing of a liquid in solid liquid equilibrium. Example, you can see ice and water. Okay, here in a closed system, means if I am taking a container, it should be completely closed. Okay, it's in a closed system. If it is open, we call it as open system. So in a closed system at 0 degrees Celsius, ice and water are attaining equilibrium. That is, at one point all the water molecules which is present as ice, okay, some molecules are getting converted into liquid state and the liquid water is getting converted to the solid state. So the equal number of molecules from ice to water, water to ice, so it is in equilibrium. I hope you have understood this. Next we will be going to liquid vapor equilibrium. Okay, so here the rate of vaporization is equal to that of the condensation of the vapor. For example, I take water, okay, and it's a closed container or a closed system. So here some amount of water molecules will go into the vapor state. So the number of water molecules going into the vapor state, the rate of vaporization is equal to the rate of condensation. So what is it? Condensation and evaporation is equal to one another, and we call it as dynamic equilibrium, and more about dynamic equilibrium I will explain further. So this is one example of water in the liquid state to the gaseous state. Also you can see I have put an example of liquid bromine. Liquid bromine is a fuming liquid. Okay, so here what happens at a room temperature, you can see the liquid bromine slowly it has vaporized and it is a closed container. You can see that initially when it started vaporizing, the color of the bottle started becoming darker and darker orange. After some time you can see it is constant, no color change is there. So what happens is the amount of liquid bromine which is going into the vapor state is equal to the amount of vapors which is again condensing back to form a liquid bromine. So at that point we call it as the system has attained equilibrium. So initially as soon as you see it is not in equilibrium, slowly there was forward reaction, that is the liquid bromine started vaporizing, okay, and later after some time even the vapors started condensing. So when the rate of vaporization as well as condensation becomes equal, then we call it as attained equilibrium. Okay, so this is one example. Next is solid vapor equilibrium. In solid vapor equilibrium, what happens? The rate of vaporization of a solid is equal to that condensation of the vapor into solid, are called as solid vapor equilibrium. Example, I can give iodine solid and iodine vapor. Iodine has a capacity for sublimation, or iodine solid undergoes sublimation. So if I take iodine solid, it is a bright violet or purple color solid, okay. So it is very dark. Just by looking into it you cannot tell it is purple or violet because it looks like black, it is that dark, okay. So slowly if you keep few crystals of iodine in a test tube, in a closed test tube or a closed beaker, so totally it should be a closed system, okay, slowly you can see that the iodine vapors or the iodine solids are vaporizing. So here the rate of vaporization is there initially more. After some time you can see the color is not changing or it has come to equilibrium where the vapors are also condensing back to form the solid. So the rate of vaporization is equal to the rate of condensation to form a solid. At that point we call it as the system has attained equilibrium. Okay, that is at equilibrium the rate of vaporization of a solid is equal to the rate of condensation of a gas to a solid, is called as solid vapor equilibrium. Best example is iodine which we can give, okay. Next is equilibria involving dissolution of solids or gases in liquid. So what is happening here? Here it is dissolution of a solid or a gas in liquid we are doing. So we have taken a liquid and we are dissolving a solid or a gas in it. Okay, in such there are two types, that is solid and solution equilibrium. So solid solution equilibrium, example I can take a saturated solution of sugar. Okay, so what is equal here? Rate at which the solute particles go into the solution phase is equal to the rate at which the solute particles in the solution into the solid phase, that is crystallization. Rate of dissolution, that is the amount of solid which is going into the liquid phase, we call it as dissolution. The rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization. From the liquid state it is getting crystallized. So both the process are happening equally, then we call it as solid liquid equilibrium, and this you can observe in saturated sugar solution. You can try it at home. You take a cup of water, okay, and add 1 spoon of sugar, then 2, then 3. At one point of time you can see that the sugar crystals are no more dissolving, okay, and that state we call it as equilibrium, because for us it looks like it is not dissolving, but actually what is happening is the sugar, what is there? The crystals, how many crystals are going into the solution is equal to the number of crystals which is crystallizing back into the solid state from the solution. So when these two processes are, at equilibrium, we call it as solid liquid equilibrium. But for us, to a naked eye, it just looks like the dissolution has stopped. That's all. Okay. So that's about the solid solution equilibrium. Next is gas solution equilibrium. So in a gas solution equilibrium, the amount of gas which is getting dissolved is equal to the amount of gas particles which is from the solution state which is coming to the gaseous state. So both the processes are happening at same extent. We call it as gas solution equilibrium. Now for example, if you take any carbonated drinks like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, Fanta, anything, you can take any of the carbonated drinks in which you can see the carbon dioxide, what is there? It is dissolved in the liquid and at high pressure they have sealed the bottle. Okay. So at equilibrium, what is happening? The carbon dioxide in the gaseous state which is going into the solution state is forward reaction. From the solution state, when it is coming back to the gaseous state, is the backward reaction. Both are happening at same extent. Then we call it as equilibrium. But when the pressure is reduced, when you open the bottle, you can see the frizz coming out. Because the pressure is reduced, the carbon dioxide gas suddenly from the solution it starts coming out, and that's why that frizziness is observed. There's also a law called as Henry's law to explain this. Or what is this Henry's law, we shall see. Henry's law states that the mass of the gas dissolved in a given mass of a solvent is proportional to the pressure of the gas above it. That is, if you see here, for example, I've taken some amount of a liquid and I'm trying to dissolve carbon dioxide and I'll apply some pressure here. Okay. So as the pressure increases, the carbon dioxide which is going into the solution also is going on increasing. So it depends on the pressure with which you are applying so that the gas will go into the solution phase. And the pressure is observed just above the solution. What is the pressure? Okay. So that's about the gas solution equilibrium. Next, general characteristics of equilibrium involving physical process. So what are the characteristics which we have observed? First is equilibrium is established only in the closed system. As I told you, it should be at a closed system and at constant temperature. If the temperature changes, the equilibrium is completely lost. So that's the first characteristic. Next, all measurable properties in the system are constant. So any measurable property is there, we are keeping it at constant. Next, both opposing processes occur at the same rate, isn't it? I told you the rate of vaporization is equal to the rate of condensation. So both the opposing forces, what is there? Both should happen at equal extent, only then we call that system as equilibrium. Last is when equilibrium is attained, it is characterized by constant value of one of its properties at a given temperature. So there will be one or the other property which has to be kept at constant at a particular temperature when equilibrium has to be attained. So these are some of the characteristics which we have observed in the physical equilibria. Next class, we'll be learning about the equilibrium of chemical reaction and derive the equilibrium constant expression Kc. So I hope you have understood today's class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned, stay focused.